What do you think the Geno extension means for Brock? Like, Geno just got 2 years, $75 million. That's $37.5 million a year. If the Niners gave that to Brock and he accepted it, I would call that a great deal. Clearly, Brock's not going to accept that. Do you think he has a leg to stand on here, or do you think that this Geno Smith deal hurts his case?
The Geno Smith deal 100% hurts his case because that contract, if I'm remembering it right, because I was just reading about it yesterday, it's 66.6 guaranteed, could go up to 85.5 if I remember right. So at the worst, it's a $33 million year, 33 a year, 37, something like that.
And at best, it's like 42.
Exactly. And Purdy's asking for way higher than all of that. And especially after the season he just had, it kind of seems ridiculous to ask for more than what Geno just got. I think this is honestly more than anything else. I think it's showing the Niners that, hey, you know what? Maybe we do wait that year. Because we were talking about that last stream we had about the whole idea of waiting and franchise tagging him and the monetary difference between that and just giving him the $50 million. And I think now they're probably leaning like, well, if that's what Geno's getting, man, like I get it. A lot of these top quarterbacks are getting the crazy dollars now. But if Geno's getting that, Brock can wait another year and prove it to us. And if he really proves it, then we can give him more. But if he doesn't, he deserves that 33 and like nothing more.
Yeah, I know most Niner fans would probably say, oh, man, Brock's so much better than Geno because he's beaten Geno so many times. But aside from being 9 years younger than Geno, like he was on, to me, the better team last year and won fewer games. He lost to Geno last year. He was on the Niners. He played with George Kittle and Jennings and Fred Warner and Bosa, and he went 6-9 and got hurt 2 times. Geno went 10-7 and didn't get hurt. He completed 70% of his passes behind like the worst offensive line in football. I'm not saying Geno Smith is a top tier quarterback, but if he's a second tier quarterback, you could argue he's in the same freaking tier as Brock Purdy. The only difference is Geno knows who he is. Geno isn't holding out for $60 million a year while Brock Purdy might be.
And to me, the bigger thing is Geno doesn't need some coach that's going to make him good. Geno just is good, and he can show his talents. And I see some guy over there being like, oh, how can Geno possibly be better than Brock? Look at Geno's numbers last year. Like, if we're just going to be honest, I get it. Oh, maybe he doesn't look the best. But if you look at Geno's numbers, he was performing like a very, very good quarterback. Maybe he's not in that A tier you're talking about, but he's definitely one of the better quarterbacks in that second tier. Like, he's up there.
The way I think about Geno is like he's not an elite quarterback, but he has a very good arm and he's accurate, very accurate. So on Seattle, a team that has no offensive line and no real like offensive creativity or like a scheme that's they haven't had a good scheme in Seattle offensively ever since I've been covering football. He did all right considering that. If you put him in Detroit last year with Ben Johnson and all those playmakers and took Jared Goff out, they might have been better. Whereas I don't know that Brock Purdy necessarily makes a machine like that better because his scrambling is nice when things go wrong. But when things are going right, he doesn't necessarily have the arm that Geno and Goff do to just dice you up anywhere. Deep, intermediate, outside like he throws a nice intermediate pass, Brock. He's not just a dink and dunker, but he doesn't throw outside the numbers very much and he doesn't throw deep very much. Sorry. He's a scrambling Jimmy. Yeah. He's a scrambling Jimmy.
Yeah, that's actually, I've never heard that before. Actually, a scrambling Jimmy is actually kind of funny.
Yeah, he's Jimmy with quick twitch muscles.
Yeah.
And but that's about it.
Yeah, you're not far off. Like, and I think the big difference, hey, you had to say it. And to me, the big thing I'm seeing here too is coming from you. If I remember, if my memory serves me right, I remember you on Twitter last year hating on Geno Smith. Hating.
I was, but I feel like you sometimes you need to do the little thought experiment of try to picture this quarterback on another team. Because with Brock, I think that's what the Niners are trying to do. Like, what is your value independent of us? You know, what are we paying for? Are we paying for ourselves, for the infrastructure we provided you, or for what you bring? And it's hard. Like with Trevor Lawrence, you could be like, oh, he's all hype. He never worked out. Okay, but he's been on the Jaguars. What if he were on the Niners? It's hard to know, but we'll see it with Geno right now. Although now he's got Chip Kelly. Like, what are we really expecting with that one?
Yeah, that part makes me want to cry inside. I'll be so honest. Like that kind of hurts me. You know what's so funny too? My dad the other day, he was like, Connor, aren't you excited? Chip Kelly's he's on the Raiders. Isn't that going to be great? And I was like, Dad, do you remember what Chip Kelly did the last time he was in the league? Like, it was not good. It was very much not good at all. Like, I'm not excited about that. But back to my little Geno Smith point. To me, a big thing I'm seeing here is when you, the guy that was, no offense, hating on Geno, and then listed a little apology because you're like, if he wins, I'm gonna apologize. He won. Even if you're able to compare Brock Purdy to Geno, I think that says everything. Like, that just shows everything you need to say right there, because Geno's clearly a good quarterback now. Like, and nobody can doubt that.
True. God, would he survive on the Niners behind their offensive line? Well, I mean, he was on a worse offensive line. He had a worse offensive line in Seattle. I do like a quarterback with mobility like Brock, but I also like a quarterback with an arm like Geno and Jared Goff. And I think certain teams, certain situations would just benefit more from a Jared Goff, Geno Smith type. The Lions don't need a quarterback like Brock Purdy running around. They don't. No. They need a guy getting the ball down the field when the guy's open, because the offensive line is great.
Yeah, it's in today's offensive game too, where like these large passes are like super high value now. When you have a guy that can't throw in the numbers and has a weak arm, it does hurt your offense a lot. Now, to be honest, the Niners don't really have like a deep threat like that. They only really have Ayuk. He's kind of the only deep threat. But even his 40-time numbers, like, he's not the fastest. He can just jump and get over people. But that hurt. Oh, no. I knew this was going to happen again. The Connor Hensley. I knew it. I might as well just.
You put that out there on Twitter, and Ryan's like, "Who's your mom?"
Yeah. I was like, I maybe have to watch out. Like, he might be my dad for all I know. Like, maybe my dad's not my dad.
He has got an interesting past. Dave Sims says Patriot Builders of Montana says G always grinding. We all know Brock sucks. I'm not saying he sucks. I don't think he sucks, but I don't think he's as good as he seems.